Have y'all ever had a relationship fail because of the type of content that your boyfriend was watching?
If you're just meeting a man for the very first time or you're in a relationship with a man, I just feel like just play one of these red pill content just randomly, just playing it and be like, what do you think? And ask, what do you think about what this man is saying in this video? And see if your man is in support of all this content or not. Because sometimes you cannot know what they agree with or not, because you'll be shocked by the kind of response you get from your partner when you kind of play some of those videos, maybe from Kelvin Samuels or all these review contents podcasts, that the kind of the kind of content that they listen to, right? Just play one of the video or send it to him and be like, what do you think about what this person is saying about women? What do you think? And listen to what he's gonna think, because I feel like that's when you're gonna know the kind of person you're in a relationship with, so that you can either pack your load and go or manage the situation however you want to do it. So I have this video to share with you. She said that she realized that her boyfriend was listening to red pill content and changed everything in the relationship. Let me show you the video, then we'll come back and discuss.
Have y'all ever had a relationship fail because of the type of content that your boyfriend was watching? I just saw this girl, and I'm gonna tag her below, and she was talking about how she lost her boyfriend to red pill content. Well, I basically lost my boyfriend to manosphere content. And that was the beginning of the end. I didn't know it though. One day I came home. I was in my vanity room. Okay, I have a room just for myself with my clothes and my makeup. In that room, I have a TV. One day, my ex, he comes in my room where I'm decompressing, mind you. And he goes on my TV and he says, baby, I want you to watch this creator with me. Okay. And I said, oh, okay. Because at this point, me and him has been together for about a good 3 years. So I feel like when he was suggesting content to me, it's because he thought that I also might enjoy it. So I said, oh, okay. What type of content does he make? And he says, well, he comes on his platform and he invites women on there and he basically argues with them. And I shit y'all not, the first question that came out of my mouth after he said that was, is he gay? Because in my mind, I don't know an actual real man who goes out about his way to argue with a woman just to tell her about herself. Because in my reality, okay, that don't happen, right? I didn't grow up with men who were around me that did that type of shit. And the ones that did do that type of shit, they were gay. So that's why I asked that question. He starts to laugh and he's like, nah, he's not gay. It's just that he likes to debate. He likes to go back and forth with the women and tell them how they're wrong. And I was like, okay, just go ahead and put it on. This gonna put on Kevin Samuels. Mind you, I did not know who the hell he was at that point. And most people didn't know who he was at that point because he didn't blow up yet. He puts him on. And mind you, I'm just listening because I'm not watching. I'm taking off my makeup and shit. I'm hearing the content. I'm just like, I look at my ex at one point. I'm just like, can you take him off my TV, please? So my ex just starts to laugh and he's like, oh, what, you don't like him? I'm like, hell no, I don't like him. And then I start to like question him, like, why the fuck would I like him? So fast forward, me and my ex get into an argument. So we get into this fight and basically he asked me why I wouldn't do something, like, or why I wasn't like taking him serious or paying attention to him about some shit he was trying to say. I can't really remember, but I told him I cannot take you seriously because you don't pay any of my bills. That's why I'm not taking shit that you're saying seriously. This motherfucker gonna say, this is why women end up alone. I said, what women do you know that are ending up alone? He was like, that's see when I'm watching those videos, because he started to watch just not only Kevin, but he was watching other influencers who had the same type of content. So I told him, this is where I had to break it down for him a little bit, and I had to hurt his feelings. I didn't really want to do it, but I'm just like, you hand, like, you really getting out of line. I was like, I don't know why someone like you is watching content from people like them. You, first of all, don't have the same money as them. You don't have the same lifestyle as them. You don't have the resources they have, and you don't have the platform they have. So why is someone like you being influenced by someone like that? You, a grown-ass man, almost into his 30s, because at this point he was like 29, 28 or something like that. Almost into his 30s, you're listening to another grown man. You don't have your own ideology set. You don't have your own morals and values to follow. You're letting somebody else that don't even know that you exist influence you. And you're a grown ass man. You try to say you're a grown ass man. That's fucking crazy. I didn't understand that. I really didn't. Because, yeah, social media is fun, but I cannot say I've ever been influenced by a creator on here. Because, bitch, if you're trying to sell me some shit and I don't want it, I'm scrolling. If it sounds like some shit that don't sound right, I'm gonna let you know it don't sound right. But it's hardly ever I get influenced by somebody on here. And this grown ass man wants me to take him serious. The one that's getting influenced by somebody, the one that don't pay bills. You want me to take you serious? What the fuck? I said you need to stop listening to them because they got you and now you got me. He just shut up. He didn't say nothing else. He didn't say shit after that. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna talk to you when I get home, and I hung up, and that was the end of that conversation. I should have known that that was gonna be a problem. Okay. Now, another thing too, if you have a boyfriend that has, and this is not all of them. This is not all of them. This was just the one that I had. And there are many others that are like him. Okay. So please don't get this confused. Do not run with this shit. Okay. Sometimes men, where they have an absence of a father in their life, if he sees a man talking about things that other men respond well to, then he will also try to adopt their ideas, adopt that behavior. Because they think that a man is teaching them something that they don't know. Because they didn't have one growing up. So now they're looking for that. Is what I'm trying to say. I hope I said that right. My thing is this though, if you're going to listen to them type of people, you got to make sure everything else in your life matches up with them too. Okay, not just your mentality about women. You got to make sure your finances match up. You got to make sure your looks match up. You got to make sure all the decisions that you make in your life got to match up with theirs too. See, it's more than just having, an influenced mind, right? If you really feel like how that person feels and you want your life to reflect that, you want to move how they move, you got to have your whole life looking just like how theirs look. And his life wasn't looking like that. Okay, like I said, he wasn't doing anything other than the bare minimum. And I really do feel like that was the beginning of the end. Tip of the iceberg. Also, it's no shade to Kevin Samuels. I know that that man passed away. I'm not trying to disrespect him, but that was part of my story. Also, I do want to say this, okay? I saw some comments in my last video that they were saying I was rage baiting. Bitch, this ain't no fucking rage baiting. I told you what the fuck happened and I left. I hardly even responded to most of the comments on there because most people thought that I was just saying shit just because I wanted to get reactions. No, I gave my confessional, my testimonial, and I fucking left. Like, there really is nothing else, to rage bait about. I told y'all a story that happened to me, and that's it. But yeah, y'all, tip of the iceberg.
Why do these people or these men consume red pill content? First of all, it's the kind of target. I feel like the algorithm targets how you feel. Sometimes when you just talk about or think about something, before you open your Instagram or your TikTok or whatever, you find out that you can see an advert on that particular thing and you wonder, I was just thinking about this thing. So I feel like people that consume rap content, how they come across the whole thing is because probably they feel like nobody wants them. They cannot easily get women that they want. So they start consuming rap content and start seeing women in a different way. They kind of see women as an object and do not have to be wicked to women. So they feel like they have to be wicked to women to be able to get them. And the thing is that what is the end goal of this red pill content? Because at the end of the day, women don't even like men that consume red pill content. And if you have a man that is consuming red pill content, it will affect your relationship. In fact, I don't know how. In fact, if the moment you find out that he consumes red pill content, I feel like that's when you should pack your bags and go because they don't even see you as human being. They see you as an object.
I was thinking about this last night, but genuinely, what is the end goal for young men who consume red pill content? And I'm being dead ass. It might be because I don't have a really true understanding of the point of red pill content or the reason why they're watching red pill content, but what I am gathering is that the reason why a lot of young men flock to red pill content is because they feel undesirable. They see their male peers getting into relationships, they see their female peers not wanting them, they feel like ugly, they feel insecure, they feel like they can't get any women, so they turn to red pill content in order to get said women. Then the red pill content does nothing but give them terrible advice, tells them to treat women badly, tells them to be a bad person, and then the women are saying, hey, we do not like people who consume red pill content. Be a real person, be an actual person, treat women like people. But then these young men are just being reinforced by the red pill content, treating women terribly, ending up hating women, and now they're at a point where they started watching this content in order to get women and feel better about themselves. But now they're at a place where they feel terrible about themselves and terrible about women, and then the women don't want them because they're bad people consuming red pill content. So genuinely, what is the end goal? What's supposed to happen when you start consuming red pill content?
I feel like the best way for you to know when your man consumes red pill content is by letting him talk. Okay, don't do all the talking, let him talk. Ask question, let him talk. I feel like that is when you will know the kind of content he listens to and what he actually how he sees you as a woman. Because most people, yes, most of these people, they want to be in a relationship with a woman, but then they don't see us as human. They see us as an object. They see us as something that can have. That's why you see them comparing women to cars, comparing women to some, it's just crazy. And most of them will ask you, they're always very, talking about your body count, talking about, respect and all those things are just crazy. And once you see a man that is just focused on your body count, run. Because they won't tell you their body count and they're going to lie. Because why should you want to know a woman's body count? For what reason?
Hey ladies. In a world where men are consuming this like weird red pill content and you really like you don't know if that's how they are until they start talking, it's some words you need to listen out for. Soon as I hear the word modern woman come out of a man's mouth, I'm sprinting away. I'm sprinting. I'm in a full jog. What other words? Alpha male, absolutely not. If he starts talking about a high value man, absolutely not. Oh, body count? You're out of here. You're so far out of here, bro. First of all, even if he's not a red pill, if you use the word body count, you might not necessarily be into red pill content, but you're too old to be asking about that. You're way too old to be asking about that. You're weird. This is another one that might not necessarily be a red pill red flag, but it's still a red flag to me. You start talking about how like I like asking men about their past relationships because it gives you good insight to who they are. And if you start saying like, oh, my old girl didn't listen to me, like she just wouldn't listen or she wouldn't let me lead, I'm not interested in you anymore. I'm sorry. Why do you feel like you need to lead a grown woman? Why does a grown woman with bodily autonomy and self-control need another grown man to tell me what to do and I have to listen? What? Like I'm clutching my pearls right now. What are you talking about? If he refers to women as females, absolutely no. If he starts calling men simps, absolutely not. I love a simp. And I was just talking about this to a guy that I'm talking to the other day. I love him. You call him a simp, I call him a king. That's my man. My man, my man. If you're not gonna simp for me, if you too busy keeping it cool and acting nonchalant, you need to keep it over there because I'm not interested at all. And this last one might not necessarily be a red pill, red flag, but if you talk down on single mothers, because some men will find a way to somehow work that into the conversation, or women that don't have a relationship with their dads, you're out of here, buddy. I'm not here for it.
These people don't like women. These people don't appreciate women. They don't even want you. They're just there for what you have to give them. And they've learned that act of manipulation to get you to think that they are important or they are responsible. And if care is not taken, no, you will go and fall for the trap. And by then it might be too late for you because anyway, you guys, what's your take on this video? Let me know your thought down in the comment section respectfully. Have you lost a man to a reputable content? Can you share your thought down in the comment section respectfully? Check out Maria David. And thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like and share and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next one, guys.